Hey guys, I am Zenogate and welcome back to a new video. Well, I get a lot of requests for making low-end guides for various games, but it's not always possible for me to make separate videos for each game. So in this video, I'm going to show you guys everything that you can do to increase FPS on your low-end PC for any game. Now this video might not be useful for beginners, but if you have some knowledge about PCs and if you have a low-end PC and want to get into gaming, this video will be helpful for you. Also in this video there will be things that you already might know, so feel free to use the timestamps below to skip ahead. So anyway, let's begin. To start with, you have to understand your specifications. There are three key components to run a game properly: CPU, GPU and RAM. And these three components have to have a good synergy between them to work properly. What that means is that if you just have 8 GB RAM on your PC and other components aren't good, you will not get good FPS. Or if you just have a Core i7 and if you have a RAM like 2 GB RAM or a bad GPU, then you will not get good FPS. So you need to have good synergy between all these three components to get good FPS. And if you think that your PC has bottlenecking issue like this, like you just have a Core i7 or if you just have a RTX card or something and your CPU isn't that good, or if your GPU isn't that good, then the only way to get good FPS and good performance is to upgrade your PC. There's nothing I can do in that case. But if you have a moderate PC like me, like my Core i3 and GT 730 PC like that, then this video will be helpful for you. And here's everything that you have to do to get good FPS. So first of all, your operating system. I basically mean Windows, as most people uses Windows nowadays. So I recommend you guys use a light version of Windows 10. Well, there are a lot of websites where you can download Windows 10 Lite, but be careful because some might be bad. Or you can also remove all the useless softwares from Windows 10 and create a Windows 10 Lite yourself. There are a lot of tutorials on YouTube. You guys might want to follow one of them. Or if you're using Windows like Windows 7 or Windows 8, you also want to remove as many useless stuff from your PC as possible. And also I highly recommend regularly cleaning all the junk files from your PC and optimize your Windows. I have a tutorial for that for Windows 10. The link will be in the description box below. You guys can watch it from there. Another thing that you guys can use for performance is game boosters or game optimizers. To be honest, I'm really not a big fan of game optimizers, but some of them do actually work. The optimizer I use is Razer Cortex. It installed automatically on my PC cause I have a Razer mouse, but you don't need a Razer accessory to install it. I will link it down in the description box below. And if you play online games and have bad ping, you can also use stuff like exit lag for online games. So there are a lot of softwares that you can use, but be careful while using them because not everything might be good and some may contain virus. Now let's come to the main way of getting good FPS, which is reducing game graphics. But sometimes the lowest graphics might not be the best for performance. But anyway, reducing the graphics of a game works the best for getting more FPS, so you might want to sacrifice quality to get more FPS. Now as I've said that sometimes the lowest graphics might not be the best for performance, so I recommend experimenting with the graphics settings a bit to see which one works best for you. And also changing the graphics resolution will help a lot. For low-end PCs, 1280x720 is I think the best resolution. But if you are still not getting good FPS, it's not playable, then you might want to go lower than that. Also reducing graphics settings like render distance, render quality, FOV, crowd density, like crowd actions helps out a lot. Also while on the topic of graphics rendering, changing render API will also help increase the performance. In a lot of games in the launcher or in the graphics settings, you will find render option where you will see DirectX 11, 12, Vulkan, etc. Well, most games use mainly a few APIs like DirectX 10, 11, 12, OpenGL, Vulkan, and these are the most popular ones. Well, as all PCs are different, you might want to try out each of them to see which one works best for you. But as far as I know, most games actually use DirectX and some games don't even have the option, but you might want to try changing if you have the option anyway. Then comes a little bit of advanced softwares like priority control, overclocking and stuff like that. If you're not so much experienced and if you're just a beginner, I recommend not trying them or using them. For priority control or overclocking, you can use softwares like Process Lasso, MSI Afterburner, Performance Maximizer and stuff like that. But if you want to use stuff like that, I recommend you watch a proper tutorial on YouTube, get proper knowledge, cause it can damage your CPU components. Now, you can also get exclusive softwares depending on which brands of components you are using. But company-based softwares do not apply for all computers. But some examples of company or brand-based softwares are GeForce Experience, Ryzen Master, and more. So basically, if you have GeForce Experience, you can use it to reduce a game's graphics. You can reduce a game's graphics more. I mean, you can do more tweaking to get more FPS. Also, if you have an AMD APU, you can increase its VRAM to give it more GPU memory. But I totally understand that everyone might not have it, and it's not necessary either. So anyway, I think this was it for today, and I'm Zenogate. Thanks for watching, and I'm signing out.